Hi, it's Finn again. Let's make your WordPress site accessible. Something that people miss about this sometimes is that people with disabilities need your goods and services and they want to buy stuff from you. And you need to make it easy. Added to which, accessibility is now the law in many countries. People with disabilities have money. They want to be able to spend it. And if your website doesn't cater for them, then they'll go elsewhere. And because accessibility is now the law in many countries, they may sue you. The Americans with Disabilities Act and the EU have legislation in place that requires you to have accessible websites. And that doesn't matter whether your server is based in any of those countries or not. If they visit your website, it needs to be accessible. Now, WCAG is applicable worldwide. That's the W3C guidelines for accessibility on websites. W3C, it means Worldwide Web Consortium. So how can you work out what you need for your website to be compliant? Here's your to-do list. Your contrast needs to be good. People need to be able to read what you've written. Images need to have alt tags, and that means that when somebody scrolls across it with their mouse, a tooltip comes up saying what the picture is. Now, this is particularly good for people with visual disabilities, and it needs to be quite descriptive, not just your keywords. Links. Now, links are an interesting thing. Make sure they stand out, that it's clear that they're a link. So that means you need to take underlines off things that aren't links and only use underlines for links. Architecture. That's not how your house is built. It's how your pages are built. So H1, H2, H3, H4 tags on your titles need to be logical. They need a logical progression. Flashing. There used to be a method of making things flash as part of your page, and so many people had fits from that. It's not just that, actually. Migraines that are triggered by flashing. So if you've got videos that flash, you need to do something about that because that's not accessible. Transcripts should be available both for audio and video files. The language that the website is written in needs to be clear in the code. This is so that screen readers know what language to read in. Now, ambiguity. This is about consistency. Consistency right across your website. So buttons that mean that you order something shouldn't be the same as buttons that take you to a different page or a different offer. For example, now meta descriptions. It's surprising how many people don't put meta descriptions in their websites anymore. The meta description is important because not only does it explain to screen readers what the page is about, but it's also what appears as the description in your Google search results. So if you don't have a meta description, it'll just pick up the first couple of sentences, which may be fine, or it may not. There's a bunch of other stuff that you can do as well to make you accessible, but that's the major part of it. And all of this applies to each and every page on your site. And then all the adjustments need to be made, and my experience is that it's a lot of adjustments. I provide a report when I'm doing this kind of audit, and it's usually 20 to 30 pages long, with pages and pages of URLs of both pages and images that need to be dealt with. It's a detailed and time-consuming job, and it takes a long time. So if you want to do it yourself, the rules and regulations are here. I'll put the links in the description below. But there we go. You click along to them and you will find the regulations listed on those pages. Or you can contact me and I will produce a report of what needs to be done. Once that's done, and you shouldn't take this next step before you've done all of that, then you can put in a plugin, accessibility plugin. Now the accessibility plugins, they say they're accessible, but it's more than that. You can't just put in a plugin and that's it, because that doesn't work. You need to do all the other stuff first. And the accessibility plugin is icing on the cake, really. Click the contact me button. I'll put a link to my Fiverr. You can go there and talk to me about it, and I'll give you an offer. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.